And I welcome, thank you to Sinn Féin for tabling this motion. And I'm going to just zone in on the summer provision, or the July provision as it was called. I know there's another aspect to the motion as well. And indeed, one has to give a context always when we're speaking in relation to disability. And the report today from the State of Caring Survey is absolutely a damning indictment of the government, notwithstanding the figures that the Minister has given, notwithstanding her understanding of the frustration and the anger, and we talk in terms of the millions provided. The actual reality on the ground, as you well know, Minister, and I know you do, is very, very difficult. So today we have a report telling us that 2,000 carers were surveyed, 72% said they never received respite. So not alone are parents struggling to get basic July provision and have consistency with that, they're also struggling for respite services. So 72% never received respite, 69% finding it difficult to make ends meet, 74% said the people that they care for do not get adequate support, and so on and so on. 23% missed at least one mortgage payment. I hope we get a chance to discuss, but that's the background. And so we look at the July provision, and it's déjà vu year after year after year. And I'm looking here at the context of that. And of course, it was a High Court action that forced the July provision in the first place, going back to the 90s. And then in 2001, 23 years ago, we brought in July provision, or whatever it was called at that time. And since then it has struggled from year to year with absolutely no certainty. I welcome the changes that have been brought in. I welcome that there's a pilot project. I welcome that a committee has been set up and parents have been finally involved. But they've been involved on the basis of pain and suffering, and absolutely forced to come to TDs, send us emails, talk to us, to get the most basic requirements. And even then it's extremely difficult. And like you know, Minister, we get representation. So I made a representation for someone for their legal entitlement to an assessment. They got that, but by the time the answer came back, they were telling us they were unaware that they'd got the assessment, and the family were now on to the next thing of trying to get respite. A constant struggle from start to finish. So when we look at this in 2021, so that's 20 years after it was introduced. And remember, when it was introduced, the judgment, the O'Donoghue judgment, said primary education, if it is to meet their special needs, requires a new approach. This is back now in a case that was in 1993. And what did they say? The continuity of education, the lengthy holiday breaks which take place in the life of the ordinary school appear likely to cause serious loss of ground which may never be recovered in the case of children with severe or profound handicap. Accordingly, to deal adequately with their needs appears to require that the teaching process should, so far as practical, be continuous throughout the year. And so, over 20 years, it hasn't been continuous. Then in 2021, following COVID, the programme was expanded to include post-primary children. The difficulty, Minister, is that it excluded children with profound and moderate needs when you expanded it. I understand there's a pilot project underway now, and you might give us some details in relation to that. But the actual figures are also damning. So we're told that there's home-based provision, but year after year the reports fail to give us any analysis of the home-based programme and how actually that's been picked up, how many hours are available. I understand it's much less. The inspector's reports, which are very interesting, they do not provide a breakdown of the length of time the programme is provided in the number of schools that provide the programmes. So you might have 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks. Figures from 2021 show that according to the Inspectorate, 625 primary schools took part and 99 post-primary schools. And then we have opposite figures coming in press releases from the government in total of the number of children who participate. Indeed, this figure of 50,000 children taking part is at odds with the inspector's reports. And that was in a previous speech given by yourself or your colleague and in relation to press releases. Only 43.4 of special schools, or 59 out of 136, provided a summer programme. In Galway, 6 special schools, 5 only provided a summer. 2 of those schools provided 4 weeks, 3 provided 2 approximately. And the schools that do offer the programme cannot offer it to all students, and so on, and I'm running out of time. So my answer, what I'm saying is, at what stage will we recognise in a rich country where we're able to put aside billions that we would finally rectify the most basic service of a summer following a court case back in '93 which said it was absolutely essential? How come in 2024 we're still struggling on an absolute ad hoc basis to provide a service that is required?